Hi there, 8A and 8B. 8A, you should be watching this at 10:40, and 8B, you should be watching this at 11:40. So this is a recorded message. I appreciate your patience. Sorry I'm not here. I'm dropping my son off at college in Boston. First thing, let's look at our schedule. So 8A, if you go into Google Classroom, you'll notice a couple things. This is your schedule. You see that next Monday will be the Blue Week, and we're going to start off with Blue Week, and you will have math at 1 o'clock. So on Monday, you will come and you will log on to the Zoom at 1 o'clock, and I will take attendance at 1 o'clock on Monday, and we'll start our math. And then you will have a double math on Tuesday, no math on Wednesday, and then we have math on Thursday, and then no math on that Friday. And then the following week, we again will have math. This time we'll have it in the morning. We'll have our double on Tuesday, none on Wednesday, one morning on Thursday, and then one on Friday morning. And your schedule for 8B on Monday, I will see you last period. So at 2 o'clock on Monday, you're going to log on to the Zoom, and I'm going to take attendance, and then we'll start our math class. Tuesday we won't meet. Wednesday we'll have a double math. Thursday we'll meet. We won't meet Friday, and then that following week goes in. So you all know the typical schedule patterns with the math and science. And most of the communication that I'm going to do with you is going to be based in this section, the classwork in Google Classroom. I will email you, and it will be important for you to check your emails on a daily basis. Let's talk about the class syllabus. So we come in here, attached is a brief description / sequence of topics we will cover this year in math. This year we will primarily be using the McDougall-Littell Algebra 1 Structure and Methods. That's the book that we gave you at pickup. And that's a book that we're going to refer to and use those sections quite a bit. I'm going to supplement with a McGraw-Hill Algebra 1 book. I will provide the material that you would need from this book, so it's not necessary for you to go out and buy it. Now let's take a look at the timeline. My class is going to be a little bit different this year than all the math in your past. What I have introduced, and I ran it last year and it ran extremely well, is I wanted to introduce the topics. I wanted to introduce broad topics. I wanted to touch base on a lot of things in that first trimester. So we'll do solving equations, graphing equations, writing equations, systems of equations, inequalities, relations and functions, exponents, monomials, and polynomials. And then we'll finish up with quadratic equations. And that's just in the first trimester. So we're going to learn a little bit about a lot of things that first trimester, and hence why it's called the introduction. Second trimester, we're going to go a little bit more in depth, and we're going to revisit each of those 8 topics, and we're going to delve in a little bit more, and we're going to get a little bit more complicated, and we're going to add some rigor to it and some complexity to it. We're going to dig deeper. So you'll see the list of things, and we will be referring to the book and to the other supplemental book, or I'll create stuff also. But all the material will be provided, even if you don't have a book. Even if you lose your Algebra 1 book, everything will be provided online for you, and you will be able to learn via the material that I will give you. Then in the third trimester, we're going to look for mastery. So we're going to again repeat those 8 core topics or concepts, and then we're going to really add on. We're going to be into the high school, the advanced level of these types of topics. It worked extremely well last year. It was great. The connections were there, and you got a much more broad, and you could understand how each concept dealt and built off of the prior one. So I'm excited for this. So your grade is going to be based upon 4 categories. It's going to be based upon homework / classwork. It's going to be based upon class participation and effort. And then it's going to be based upon PBLs, which are problem-based learning problems. And it will be activities that we'll do every other Friday. And those are activities, group activities, or sort of enrichment activities. And then the fourth thing are assessments. And that will be really important. The majority of your grade will be based upon that. So let's talk about those components. The first thing is homework. So you're going to go on to your Google Classroom, and this is an example of a post last year. So the topic was binomials with radicals, and it says complete the worksheet attached on multiplying binomials that contain radicals and fill out the exit slip. There are notes and videos included. So you're going to see there's four things. This is the video, this is the worksheet, this is the notes from the video, and this is the exit ticket. So the first thing you're going to do, and this is what we're going to do Monday, after I take attendance, there will be an assignment for you. The first thing will be you're going to click the video, and it's going to take you to my YouTube video. So you see that Mr. Mac has his own YouTube channel with 6 subscribers, might I say. So you're going to do this, and you're going to watch the video. You're going to have this video, and the video will describe how to do it, etc. And there are you try problems. You're going to try it. It says pause the video and try this problem. And then when you've completed it, push play, and then it will explain the answer. And so this is where the teaching and the lessons will be. You can go back and watch it multiple times. It is in a library that you can access before the assessments. So this worked extremely well also last year. It helped students see the steps, it described it, and we found a lot of success with that. So that's the first thing you're going to do. If you feel confident in it, then you are going to go to the worksheet. And this is the homework. So you have 12 problems that you would have to do in your composition book or your 3-ring binder, but all homework is going to be completed on a piece of paper, and you're going to write down this problem, you're going to show your steps, you're going to do your work. And once you finish the 12 problems, you're going to grade it. And you're going to see how many you got correct, how many you didn't. And look where those answers are. The answers are right down below it. So you will have access to all the answers, and you're going to correct them. And you're going to see which ones did you get right, which ones did you get wrong. And you're going to notate, I got 1 right, I got 2 wrong, I got 3 right, I got 4 right, I got 5 right, etc. And you're going to do that on your composition book. And once you're done, you're going to go back to this, and now you're going to fill out the exit ticket. So you're going to click the exit ticket, and the exit ticket will tell you, please answer the following questions on the binomials with radicals worksheet. You're going to put your name, and then it says problems 1 through 6 dealt with distributing radicals. How many did you get correct? And then you're going to have a pull-down menu, and you'll have 0 correct, 1 correct, 6 correct, however many problems you got correct. And then problems 7 through 12, how many did you get correct from there? 0 correct, 1 correct, 2 correct, etc. And then you always have to hit submit. If you don't hit submit, then I'm not going to get that record of your homework completed. So this is how you show that you did your homework. You're going to submit it. I get a copy of that, and everything is great. Now, let's say that you now want to go back and find your mistakes, and you want to look at either the video or, as you see, the notes are also. So this is the video sort of put out on pieces of paper, so you can see the steps. If you want to look, oh, this problem is very similar to the problem I was doing, and I see the steps. Sound good? So that's another place that you can get a record of the lesson. Excuse me. Now, remember, at 8 o'clock you're coming in, or whenever your class time, you're coming in and I'm taking attendance. Then I'm going to let you go away and you're going to jump off of Zoom. You're going to do these things and you're going to complete it. So you're going to watch the video, you're going to do the homework, you're going to record your answers, and let's say you have a question. I'm going to still be on that Zoom. You can jump back into that Zoom and you can ask me a question. Mr. Mack, I had a problem with number 8. I looked at it, I tried it, and I looked at my work and I couldn't figure it out. And then we will talk and we'll figure out what mistakes you're making and try to fix that. So there may be 1, 2, or 3 people, a handful of people coming in and out of Zoom during the class time, but you are not responsible for being on the Zoom for all 50 minutes of math. I think that that's not really the best use of your time. I'm not going to be overlooking and watching you while you're doing your work. All right, that's something you can do in your and your own leisure. But I will take attendance at the beginning of every single class that you have with me, and then we'll talk maybe for a minute or two, talk about what's going on, and then I'll let you go off and do the assignment. If you don't have questions, let's say you watch the video, you do the work, you correct it, and then you don't have any questions, you're done with class. We're done for the day. And then you can go on to your next class at the appropriate time. Here's the thing about grading. When you grade yourself, there's a lot of trust built into this class this year. I have to trust that you're going to be honest with yourself, and you have to trust me that I'm going to teach you and take you along this journey called Algebra 1. So there's a lot of honesty in the honor system. You can absolutely cheat and record yourself that you got 6 out of 6 correct, and you get, I'm not grading you based on how many you get right and how many you get wrong. Once you submit your exit ticket, that you get credit for that day's homework. So I'm not concerned about how many you got right and how many you got wrong. We're recording it so you can keep track of it, and you can know what things you're mastering, what things you still need to work on. So if you submit the exit ticket with 0 correct, you're still going to get 100%. You're going to get 1 out of 1. Okay? So each homework is worth 1 point. So it's important for you to understand that I'm not here to make sure that you don't cheat. That's up to you. That's a you problem. So if you can choose to cheat all year, you can be online with somebody and you guys can share answers, and you can go online and have a computer next to you or your phone in front of you and find answers. Your older brother or sister can do the work for you. That's you. If you get A's first trimester, second trimester, third trimester, and your parents think you're getting A's, and then you take the placement test for your freshman year and you get a 0 or a 12%, there's going to be that disconnect. So at some point you're going to have to, you will get caught, shall we say. So I'm not going to focus on you cheating. I'm going to focus on teaching you and preparing you and trying to teach you this material to the best of my ability so you can be successful. So we talked about homework. We're good. Class participation, effort. So that's where I want to see when you do struggle, when you do get 1 out of 6 correct, what are you doing? Are you coming in during the Zoom? Are you coming in during office hours? Office hours are also going to be available for questions and for one-on-one work. Are you making that effort? The second thing is problem-based learning. Those will be activities. I like collaboration. When you're doing your homework and you have a question, you don't have to necessarily come to me. If you're friends with somebody in your class or somebody in another class and you're in a pod with them, you live next door and you guys do work together, absolutely. You should absolutely lean in that person and your friends, and you're comfortable with them, and they're good at math, and you want to ask them questions, you want to work with them. by all means, collaboration is awesome. The last thing is going to be assessment. So let me show you an assessment. Actually here, let's go back here. So we're going to have, you see here, we have a pre-assessment, which is an example. So you have a, this is an assessment that you'll have. And then you have, and then you have an explanation of how to do those pre-assessments. So I will provide a answer key with full demonstrations on how to do it. And then I will also provide a video so you can listen to the pre-assessment being done. And then again, you're going to record your score. Now this score, pre-assessments do not count for a grade. It's again, did you do it? Once you complete it, you get credit for doing that pre-assessment. Pre-assessments are not, and you're going to get that the day before. Then you get your assessment, and you're going to do this, and you're going to do the assessment, and you're going to submit your answers here. That will be graded. So let's say you get a 78 on your assessment and you got 4 problems wrong. So what I'm going to provide is an opportunity the next day to do a reassessment. So this reassessment is going to be different problems, but what you're going to do is if you got number 1 wrong, on that reassessment, you can redo number 1. It's going to be a new number 1, but it's going to be similar to it. So you get to redo those 4 problems. So if you get all 4 of them wrong, that 78 now turns into 100. You'll never see that 78. So that is something that I think is extremely important, very, very supportive. That is my philosophy is, look, I don't expect you to be perfect. And sometimes it takes 1 or 2 or even 3 times to see something to be tested before you become proficient at it. And we will see the pre-assessment that gives you a prep on it. You'll do the assessment, and then the next day you'll be provided an opportunity to do the reassessment. That's not mandatory, that is optional. So the people that take the time to do the reassessment should get the reward. If you want to put time in to look at the problems that you got wrong and get better at them, then you can show mastery on that second try, well, you should get the credit for it. You'll notice that things are listed here, assessments, calendars. I'll give you a 2-week calendar, somewhat like a 2-week calendar of the material that we'll be covering those 2. Your Zoom session links will be located here. Your homework will be located here, and then miscellaneous items. This quote that I like, and it's about enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is one of the most powerful engines of success. When you do a thing, do it with all your might. Put your whole soul into it. Stamp it with your own personality. Be active, be energetic, be enthusiastic and faithful, and you will accomplish your objective. That is by Ralph Waldo Emerson. And I think that's great. I'm about enthusiasm. If you got to be here and I got to be here, let's enjoy it. Let's make the most of it. Don't sit there and complain. Don't drag. Don't do the least amount of work. Do the most that you can do. Engage. This is going to be an important year if you are applying to a high school, which I think is 100% of you. And so I have to write a letter of recommendation, and you have to take math next year. So it's in your best interest to do your best work and to learn the most that you can. My math story, just a quick last final word. I have a very interesting history with math. My freshman year in high school, in 9th grade, I took Algebra 1. I took the course that you're taking right now. And I went to a public high school in New Jersey, and I got a D. D is in dreadful. My freshman year in Algebra 1. My sophomore year, I took geometry. I got a D, as in disappointing. My junior year, I took Algebra 2 Trig. I got a D for the year. in Algebra 2. My senior year, I took pre-calculus. I got an F. I failed my senior year in math. In my senior class, we had 365 students. I graduated like 363rd out of the class. One being the best, 365 being the worst. I was 363. So I barely graduated. I was not a great student. I struggled. I wasn't very enthusiastic. I didn't have the enthusiasm. I was a distraction. I was a pain in the butt. I struggled learning. And so, in fact, my grandparents didn't even come to my graduation because we didn't know if I was going to graduate high school. Now, here's the fun part about it. Guess what I majored in college? Mathematics. I have a degree in computer mathematics. Yeah. So what happened from high school to college? How did that change? Well, when I barely graduated high school, instead of going off to college, I went to boarding school. And I took an extra year of high school. And I went to a boarding school in upstate New York, and it was a school for dyslexia. And there were only 100 boys. It was a school that started in fifth grade to what we call PG, postgraduate. That was me. I graduated high school, and yet I wasn't going off to college just yet. So I took a PG. And this school taught me 4 years of high school. It was amazing. It changed my life. I had a math teacher there named Willie Franz, and he made math fun. And I knew I was smart, even though I was getting those D's and F's in math. I knew that there was something there, that something was holding me back, and I knew I could do some stuff. So this guy was an unbelievable math teacher, and he gave me a lot of confidence. And I went off to college the next year, and I had a professor, Professor Farnham, at the university that I went to. She also was a great person who built my confidence and believed in me. And I use a lot of her teaching techniques that she used on me, and I use it in my teaching. And she was a wonderful mentor for me. And so I ended up majoring in computer mathematics. The last thing that I wanted to discuss was that homework. So each day you're going to get a homework assignment, 6 problems, 12 problems, and there will also be an enrichment problem. So I want to be here for students who struggled like I did in high school, but I also want to be there for students like myself in college who enjoyed math and were good at math. So there's going to be, even though we are a mixed classroom, I'm going to be dealing with all levels of math. I'm going to be able to help the kids struggling, and I will help the students who want a little bit more rigor. So there will be that enrichment problem that will be optional, and hopefully people will take on that challenge and understand that it's safe. You can get it wrong and it won't affect your grade, but you're trying, and we want to see that trying and taking that risk and trying to get better at math. So that was the last final thing. This is probably a long video. I appreciate your help. Thank you for watching it. I will see you Monday. I look forward to starting the year with you on Monday, and have a great weekend.